Hello, everyone. Well, already a severe weather threat this morning in Iowa, and though we'll dry out for tonight, the severe threat comes back for Saturday. So let's take a look at your full weekend forecast. Starting this morning, though, and it's wet in many locations, showers and in some places storms. And really, from now through the early afternoon, I can't rule out a couple of storms being severe. That is a possibility. Most likely, you're just going to get a regular thunderstorm with some heavy rain and lightning. But could there be some hail? Could there be some strong wind gusts that could do some damage? I can't rule that out. So this is kind of a strange day. Normally we talk about the severe threat is coming, but actually the severe threat has already begun. And as we go through the day, we'll probably be seeing less and less activity. In fact, check out lunchtime and look how a lot of places are dry or just seeing some isolated showers. But I still got to leave in the chance for storms around the Quad Cities at noon. Then by 4 o'clock, there's no more heavy rain to be found. The severe threat over for the late afternoon. In fact, a lot of folks at this point will probably be dry with maybe just some leftover showers. Again, best chance in the far northeastern part of the state. Let's talk about temperatures. It looks like there could be a wide variety of temperatures like this afternoon, just depending on how much rain you see, how long that rain lasts. Notice that in the western part of the state, we're talking about temperatures getting into the mid-upper 70s. Notice that 82 in Omaha. That is a possibility this afternoon. Meanwhile, over to the north and east, where it's going to take longer for the rain to clear out, I noticed that some could get stuck in the low 60s. That's a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out. I do think that you'll at least escape the 50s, but could you briefly cool down to the 50s if you have some rain around? Yes. More than likely, it'll probably be around the upper 60s in the Quad Cities. We'll call it breezy today, and enjoyed just the breezy conditions, 25, 30 miles per hour, because those winds are going to be cranking Saturday and Sunday. 8 o'clock this evening, I think we're dry across the state. And I do think that evening hours are going to be dry across the state. I do have to mention after midnight, even at midnight, I think we're dry across the state. But see that activity out west. After midnight, we might see some showers, maybe a weak thunderstorm work in around Sioux City. So the threat through early this afternoon for severe storms. It's highest in the northwestern part of the state, but technically everyone in the state except the far southeastern corner has a threat for a severe thunderstorm popping up. It is unlikely, but in a worst case scenario, we could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, some quarter-size hail, and because there could be some folks that get a couple rounds of thunderstorms, some minor flooding, mainly in low-lying, poorly drained locations, is also a possibility. And I will say, because it's going to be the wettest for the longest amount of time in the eastern part of the state, the threat for flooding a little bit higher to the east, where the threat for damaging wind and hail is a little bit higher to the west. So that's today's severe weather threat, but we're not done yet because the severe weather threat comes back for tomorrow. Now, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, just some isolated showers. These are not going to be severe storms. In fact, a lot of folks will probably be dry at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to stop the model at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when I think the severe threat for tomorrow begins. Now, before we talk about that, I've got to talk about how warm it's going to be tomorrow. Across the state, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to enjoy it as much as we'd like because wind gusts, even if you don't see a severe storm, are going to be 45 to 50 miles per hour across the state. A very windy day. And then these storms popping up. Now, the late afternoon, early evening hours is what we're most concerned about. We're going to see a line of storms develop. In fact, there might be multiple lines, but that first initial line is the one we're really going to be watching for the potential for, once again, damaging wind, hail, maybe a quick tornado. Can't rule that out for tomorrow. Not worried about tornadoes today, but maybe for tomorrow. 7 o'clock, there's that line over Cedar Rapids, and it is going to be pushing to the east, but it looks like it's going to weaken. So the question is, will this line reach the Quad Cities or not? Well, I do think it will, and there's going to be rain in the Quad Cities, but the severe threat, the damaging wind and hail, that might be limited to the central part of the state. I hope so. We'll keep an eye on this, the latest trends, and I'll update you tomorrow, of course. But notice at 10 o'clock, the western part of the state largely dry, but scattered showers and storms, though at this point, probably the severe threat going away. I do think it's late afternoon, early evening where we could see that damaging wind, hail, and maybe a tornado. But the rain is going to linger. Notice even during the overnight hours, Notice how we still have the chance for Waterloo, Mason City, again, the eastern half of the state. So again, I'm not going to rule out maybe some isolated flooding if you get a couple rounds of storms, especially after the rain that we see today. The ground's going to be getting pretty wet. 8 a.m. Sunday morning, just some isolated showers left over for the Quad Cities. A lot of folks already dry. Also, a little rain-snow mix. I can't rule that out for the northwestern part of the state, but the chance is very low. I do think 11 a.m., the vast majority are dry. Still got leaving the chance for a few leftover showers northwestern part of the state. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, everyone is dry, but it's cold front that worked over us, so not as warm. We're talking about low 60s for highs in the eastern part of the state around the Quad Cities. Meanwhile, over in Sioux City, highs may only reach the mid 50s, and not as windy as Saturday is going to be, but still a windy day. Gusts around 35 miles per hour in the eastern part of the state, and gusts around 40 miles per hour in the western part of the state. So for that severe threat for late afternoon Saturday through the evening hours, right now, Quad Cities not included. I'm not going to rule out that that line of storms could reach you, though. It's still a possibility. Right now, it looks like it's going to weaken before it gets there. You'll probably still see showers and storms, but the chance for hail, damaging wind, looks like it's going to be highest in the central part of the state, places like Mason City, Waterloo, Des Moines. Outside chance maybe for Sioux City, and unfortunately not just a chance for damaging wind and hail. There's a small chance that we might see one or two EF0 or EF1 tornadoes pop up as well.